Warning. This podcast may contain spoilers as well as coarse language. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hello everyone and welcome back to the R Anime Podcast, and today we are going to be talking about our spring impressions of the 2018 spring season. Woo! So happy! I'm actually excited for this season and excited to talk about it, and especially excited to talk about it with our awesome cast and crew today. So to start off, we have the one, the only, Mozilla Fennekin.
What's up, motherfuckers?
Yes, we curse here. We're like Samuel L. Jackson.
I'm very edgy.
Yes, like so many people in this particular show that we might talk about later. And then we also have not one and only, actually there are 806 other versions of her. We have Shocking 807.
Hey guys, how you doing?
And then she's got to get back to the past, Tactician Jack. Watch out. How's it going? Our new guest for this week.
It's good, I guess.
Nice. Well, we're happy to have you, and we're happy to talk about this season with you. And to start it off, I guess we can just dive right into a show that I don't think anyone on this pod has talked about before, or this franchise in general. It's a little-known show called Steins Gate Zero. That's been somehow surprisingly popular and rising up on the Mal top anime list. So Shaw, I've heard you're one of the few people who have seen this anime. Do you want to talk a little bit about it and your thoughts on it?
Yeah, I'm so hyped. I'm the only one watching this show right now.
You and the other 806 of you.
Nope. Only this one. Only one. No one has seen this before ever. It's a really low-key show. It's 3 on Mal right now. But, yeah. So,
Is it really?
It is 3.
Oh my gosh. What a time to be alive.
What a time. Speaking of time, it's a time travel story.
Whoa! Those segues, though.
I had to jump on that, even though it's, not a good way to start. But yeah, so we're actually doing a bi-weekly series called Steins Gate Zero Bi-Weekly. We don't have a cool title for it. But, we're doing a bi-weekly series on it. And you guys should check it out if you haven't already. We'll talk about 2 episodes at a time. But in the meantime, we're watching this one now, and it's pretty much like an alternative version of Steins Gate taking place in a different timeline in episode 23 of the main series. So it's like an alternate route, but it's not really a prequel or sequel. And it's been pretty dark so far because Okabe's been pretty sad. Kurisu has died, and
Spoiler alerts for the original Steins Gate.
They should not be listening. They got they've been confused. Do not
we
listen
even have
to this.
Timestamps here.
You got timestamps.
Okay. If you haven't seen the original Steins Gate by now, what the fuck are you doing? I mean, it's too popular to not watch it.
Wasting your time.
Oh
the
my
time
gosh.
means
We can't repeat it. That's the last time, okay?
I'm gonna die. I'm gonna do this so bad. But
Shinai yourself.
Yeah, it's time to Shinai. But yeah, so it's been going pretty well so far. What have you guys thought?
Yeah, Tactician Jack, you haven't been on the Steins Gate Hacking to the Week podcast.
No, I haven't.
What have you thought of the show so far?
I like it a lot. I've seen some people complain that it's too dark or whatever, but I feel like it's not really that dark because you know how it ends, because you know how episode 24 goes and how the last half of episode 23 goes, so it actually feels kind of inspiring because you see him being really low and he's in kind of a dark place, but you know that he's going to get out of it, and that just, I don't know, that's really cool to watch.
Yeah, it's definitely not a show or franchise that we've seen before, right? We've seen alternative. We haven't really seen alternative takes of shows. We've seen reboots, of course, and with Space Battleship Yamato, a couple of gender bends here and there, but nothing that takes an original property and kind of does a darker offshoot of it, which is nice. And I mean, then again, we had FMA 2003, but hopefully this will be better. But yeah, it's fun. And so Tactician Jack, did you like you liked the original series as well?
Yes,
I'm guessing.
I did. It's very
So
good.
then, has that colored your perception of the show? Did you come in with too high expectations? What have they been like?
It's been pretty good. Like, I think it helped. Like, a lot of people are like, "Oh, Steins Gate, the original is really good," but the Zero VN, it's not as good. So that kind of, I mean, I didn't expect anything like the same level, especially right off the bat. But I don't know. It feels like it's a worthy sequel, or not sequel, whatever. It's like a worthy. It's not failing.
It's like a follow-up,
Right.
even though it's
Yeah.
not a sequel.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. I totally agree. And Moz, how about you? So, like, you've talked about a little bit about your thoughts on the first 2 episodes generally, but how about its place in the season as a whole as an airing?
It's pretty much the greatest thing ever.
Even better than the girls who go to Antarctica further than the universe?
Yeah.
Oh wow. Big
That was
big
easy.
talk.
That was easy.
I mean, that's not that hard of a question.
Oh,
Ouch.
oh, the fire!
We got a Texas showdown.
It's been 5 minutes.
We're ready to throw hands already. But yeah, oh, well, speaking of getting into fights, so Steins Gate Zero, if you want to listen to more of our thoughts, we get into much more spoilery territory in our bi-weekly podcast, so definitely check that out. But speaking of fights, there's another airing that is the Street sequel this season that some on our podcast have mixed feelings about. And it's called My Hero Academia Season 3 out by Studio Bones. And
Wait,
I will
wait. Faith,
Yes.
by mixed feelings, do you mean all of us like it and then you gave it a 6?
Nope.
No, it's not even Sangatsu level. Oh man, I still can't believe I got a comment on my Mal as we were talking about that, about someone giving me, someone unhappy with my score for Sangatsu. Although I have not gotten any Mal comments about my scores for My Hero Academia. But Maz, do you have any thoughts immediately then about Hiroaka?
No, actually, I'm not like a huge fan of this series. I think it's fun. I like it. I read the manga a little bit, just to get past the anime, and then I watched the anime, and I don't know if that comment made any sense, but I like this series a bit. It's a consistent like 7 out of 10 for me, and that's about it.
That's fair. And how about you, Tactician Jack?
I watched season 1 and 2 pretty early into my anime watching experience overall, and I liked it a lot. Like, season 2 was really good. I gave it like an 8, but then when season 3 started, I was kind of like, this isn't as good as I remember. It's like, it's okay, you know? But I would probably drop it if it wasn't for that I watched it with my little sister.
Right.
Oh,
that's cute. No, that's fun.
She's really into it, so it's more fun to like talk with her about it and stuff than to watch the show itself, you know. So I'll keep watching it because it's not like outright terrible. It's just kind of like otherwise wouldn't really be worth my time, I think. But yeah, that's going okay.
Yeah. Like, I feel like that's something I didn't actually think about, but I should have, right? Because it's something that is published in Shonen Jump and is skewed to a younger audience. And I feel like, yeah, like definitely if you're a kid, like it's something you can easily turn off your brain and watch and just enjoy like some of the fights and some of the animation and the constant Yusei Run OST track. So that could be fun. And Shaw, I don't think I've ever talked about Boku no Hero Academia with you. So
Okay, I low-key hate talking about this because I know that we're the only two in, like, the universe who really don't like this show. Like, we are the only two. So it makes it seem like we have, like, hot takes on it, but it's really just us. Like, everyone loves this but us. But, no, I had also read the manga, and then, I was kind of, like, sleeping on these actual episodes that came out. So I recently watched them, like, yesterday, and, I mean, I actually don't dislike this part of the show that much, but, like, these pussycat people, like, in the show, like, holy shit, like, they're annoying as fuck. Like, I didn't remember them being this bad, but, I mean, I like actually, there's, like, some really, like, I have to give credit where credit is due. They've had some, like, really cute, like, little interactions between the classmates that I appreciate, and I found it, like, kind of fun just watching them hang out, because I think I like just seeing them as, like, you know, classmates hanging out, doing, like, cute hero things, or, like, having camping adventures at, like, summer camp. So, I liked it. I know it's gonna be really hype, like, later on this season. So, I think it's just, like, a fun arms race to see which show will get more hype around it, Steins Gate Zero or Hero Aka, which I think will be entertaining to see, like, what's gonna win out in terms of, like, the biggest show of spring 2018.
Right, because they are going head-to-head for 2 cores. So
2 cores, yeah.
That'll be really interesting to see. Yeah, I mean, Shaw said it all. I mean, it's not really a secret, my feelings towards Boku no Hero Academia as a manga reader and as an anime watcher. I will say, I think it's actually funny because I didn't even plan to be a contrarian, but I thought, like, I know a lot of people hate the OP for this season, but I actually think it's, like, my favorite OP
my God.
of the franchise.
Wow.
Oh, wait, the OP?
There.
Yeah.
Oh, I like the OP.
Thank you, Maz.
I hate this OP. And it's not it's not because it's me, like, I'm not trying to be a dick. Like, I like some of the other Hero Aka OPs. This isn't a me thing. I hate this OP. It, like, does not match, like, the song doesn't match the visuals, even, like, the timing of, like, when the song picks up and when he starts running. I know someone did an edit where they put in the, Inuyashiki, like, My Hero Man with a Mission song, and they put that song over the visuals, and they matched it up better than the actual song.
Shaw,
and I was like,
did you see the one with Gangnam Style?
no,
What?
no, oh my God.
Someone did it with Gangnam Style?
See, I bet that fits too.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And it's like, it's actually really great, because, like, right when he says, Oppa Gangnam Style, that's when, like, Deku, like, I don't know, that's when, like, All Might kind of crashes in and screams, and it's, like, the greatest thing ever.
Oh my God.
I
I'm
also
looking
saw
this
an
up.
edit with Sora Irode's,
Yeah.
the OP from Gurren Lagann, over that, and it was, like, freaky how well it matched up. But it's also really funny, so one of my roommates, he loves Gurren Lagann, it's, like, probably his favorite anime, and hates My Hero Academia as well.
You've infected everyone.
I know, it's my new Angel Beats Shaw, except it's even more than Angel Beats. But he was, like, watching it. I was like, oh, like, the OP, like, watch it match up with Gurren Lagann. And he was like, Fate, stop. And, like, forcibly exited out. He's like, you are tainting Gurren Lagann's legacy with this monstrosity.
How dare you?
But, like, one of my old friends, she really liked Uberworld. So, like, as a band, I liked the music. And I thought, like, I don't know. It's not the best Bones OP. Like, that probably goes to Paper Moon and then Hologram.
Ooh.
So Paper Moon from Soul Eater and Hologram from FMED.
I feel the pandering from all over here. I'm loving it.
I have been successfully brainwashed. But I mean, like, it's fun, I guess. It's like, it's not terrible. It's something you can watch and listen to.
I still have a bone to pick with everyone who don't like from
Do you have a
season
studio
2.
bone to pick?
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Oh, wow.
Stop. Jesus Christ.
That's
yeah,
really
so
funny. I'm
So-
laughing right now.
I'm gonna stop now. We need to stop. We've gone too far.
But yeah, I don't know. It's but I am excited for the score, and I don't. So this is probably just gonna be the camp arc,
Yes,
which will have some
Well, they have-
good moments.
Well, they do have like 2 cores, so it's
Mm-hmm.
this core might be. I don't know. They've been going by really quickly.
They have. They've
I
been
think-
going like balls to the walls with the pacing.
I think this core is gonna be the camp arc, and then arc name redacted because of spoilers.
Yeah,
Arc, and then
the next arc, we can call
yeah.
it that.
And then after that, it'll probably be the license exam arc, and then it'll probably end there.
Yeah,
Makes sense.
I am excited for the arc that shall not be named arc.
Yeah, that's definitely
Yeah,
the best
that'll
part
be
of this
cool.
series.
That'll be cool.
Yeah, that'll be really fun to see animated. Like, there were some lit manga pages that I am excited to see.
And it's gonna have my favorite Hero Academia character, who I will not name, but I will just say I'm gonna look forward to their part specifically, even though I'm not sure other people will.
It's
Nice.
Invisible Girl. No one. That's
No.
why
No
she's
one
not
saw
sure.
it coming.
You won't.
I mean, if you go to my best guys, I said it was a guy. Whatever. They're all the main important characters are guys anyway, so that doesn't spoiler or anything.
Slay.
But he's on my best guys 5-5. So if you want to see who I'm talking about, go there. But if you don't want to be spoiled or anything, I mean, it's not even really a spoiler, but whatever.
Gotcha. Well, a show that that we can be spoiled on because, again, it's kind of a sequel, kind of further along in the story than its predecessor. We have the very popular Tokyo Ghoul Re, and today we have our resident Tokyo Ghoul expert in Shaking 807. So Sha, would you like to talk about Tokyo Re this season?
Yeah, so we have more Tokyo Ghoul. Naturally, Studio Pro is doing it, and they're kind of fucking it up. But they're I can't even make this up, guys. I haven't read it. I just like pretending because all I know is that the source readers are like just happy that it's there, but I think they're still messing it up. Anime onlys are confused by the beginning, but I think it's already better. I think it's better than Route A, but a lot of people like it. What is it? Ken Kankai is like the goat of protagonists or something. I don't even know if he's in it, but
I mean,
yeah,
I know if
know.
he's in it or not, but
Ooh, Mal let me know. Mal told me. Yeah, so I don't know. I think a lot of people are excited to see more Tokyo Ghoul, but I still never know if Tokyo Ghoul is ever worth watching because all I know is to read the manga. That's all I know.
It always
the manga's boring.
Oh,
Oh, sorry.
Slay.
Sorry.
The slay.
Slay.
Sorry, I couldn't get through the original manga. I kind of was like 100 chapters in, and I was like, this is boring. I don't want to read it. So
Yeah.
I didn't.
Slay!
No worries.
I love
That
it.
was me with Black Clover, so like you're not alone.
Oh,
Yeah,
but
people
I like Black Clovers, the manga.
Yeah.
The anime,
Ooh.
not necessarily the anime. It's like it's okay, but I'm happy with the manga, so I don't.
The
think
manga, I dropped it around like whenever they started bringing those LN original characters and like wanted you to care about them, even though their whole backstories were in a different story.
Wait,
And I was
what? Are
like-
we talking about the same thing? I don't.
Yeah.
know.
We're not even talking about best anime of the season, Tokyo Ghoul.
This is
Oh,
true.
right.
You guys,
Tokyo Ghoul.
Yes.
you guys need, if you guys like read it and watched it like I did, you would have more respect for it.
This is true. I'm sorry. We gotta put some respect on.
Put
that
some
Tokyo
respect
Ghoul.
on that, Re.
It's actually Tokyo Ghoul respect on that name.
We need to leave this topic immediately. It's
We
going
immediately
too far.
abort. So it's out of the frying pan and into the fire for the next one, where we have yet another sequel in Shokugeki no Souma, San no Sara, the Toutsuki train arc, which I mean,
The training arc or the train arc?
train
No, the train.
arc.
They're
It's
on
on
a.
a
They're on an
train.
actual train.
Yes, I did actually read the manga for this one. I'm not lying.
Okay, so as a resident Shokugeki, Shokugeki expert, then how have you felt about how the anime is adapted the first couple of episodes for this arc?
Oh, so I still didn't watch it, but I'm the worst. So from what I know, like I'm pretty sure that I said this last cur of this season, but I feel like JC's staff has just like really mailed it in on this one. Like I feel like they're not really trying to do like the best they can with the production values, so they're just kind of like adapting the source material kind of one-to-one, which is really tough to do because the manga art is really out of this world. Like it's very well done. It's really beautiful. Like even at like its best in season 1, I don't think the anime really held up to the manga art. So it just really comes to show like the weaknesses of this show more so, and I think it's just kind of gotten a bit tired, and it's fun, but it's kind of lost the magic for me that it did in the previous seasons. And this is like around the part where you know how like everyone talks about like all the Shokugeki manga readers like started dropping it. It's kind of around this part. So
But
we'll
there's
see.
a
Really?
train.
Because I actually like it a good deal better than
Ooh.
last core. Like with the first half of the season, it was just terrible. Like the Moon Festival arc was good, but everything after that was just absolute shit. I hated it. But
I feel like this
arc,
is
it
kind of
feels like-
continuing
yeah.
that.
See, I thought so too when I started. I'm like, okay, I'm probably just gonna start this just to drop it. But then I started it, and I'm like, hey, this is actually kind of fun. I wasn't expecting that. Like, I don't know what it was, but I like the second half better.
Yeah, I think I can see that. I mean, I was one of the people who dropped the manga, but it wasn't at this part. It was about like maybe 10 or 20 chapters after like where this part is at. So I'm kind of interested to see like how they'll handle it and see if it like reinvigorates my interest in Shokugeki. But I still like it. It's like one of those. It's we were talking about before. Like you can just watch it and it's fun. Not too much stuff. It's like just decent fun, even if it's not like the most exciting show that it used to be.
I have to thank Shokugeki though this season because it made me discover soft-boiled eggs. Like I didn't even think that they. Like it's not like I thought that they didn't exist, but I just never really thought about if they existed or not. And then when he made that thing with the egg, like I was like, holy shit, that I want to make that. So I did, and it was great.
Ooh.
Nice.
Not like the whole like the fancy thing, but just like making the soft-boiled egg part of it. I did, and it was good. And I was like, wow, I'm happy.
How about you, Moz? What are your thoughts on this so far?
This is interesting for me because I think I said in the fall impressions that Shokugeki, after the Moon Festival, kind of like fell off a cliff for a while until a certain other arc, which is like just about to happen as of episode 3 or 4. I forgot which one we're on. But it's actually kind of interesting because it's watching the anime is a lot better than I expected it to be, actually. Maybe it's because like I didn't really have a huge problem with what happened in season 3 after the Moon Festival, and then this season I remember the Hokkaido arc being just like completely dreadful with all of those examiners being like, "Hey, fuck you, rebels." It is like the dumb. Like I know Shokugeki is stupid, but it's too much. It's too corny. It's way too just hitting you over the head with whose ideals are better and all that.
Shouldn't have ideals in cooking.
Ideals though.
Yeah, that's how I felt about the first half of the season. But then it feels like that kind of toned down a little bit with this half of the season. I don't know. Maybe it's still there and I'm just not noticing it. But...
I don't know. But those first 2 episodes were not great for me. But it's a lot better than I expected it to be. And it also went by a lot faster because I thought this arc was a lot long. I guess it's because I was reading the manga weekly for a while. And that's like... They go through like 4 to 5 chapters per week. So that's... You think, put it that way, that's like a 10-week long sort of thing, whereas this just went by in 2 weeks. So I'm like, oh, that makes a lot more sense that it's better, I guess.
Right.
Yeah,
I don't know where they're going to end this season, though, but it should be all right.
Yeah. For me, so like with Shokugeki, I think I talked about this before, like I read the one-shot years ago, and then I heard that it was actually being turned into an anime. I was like, this premise seems vaguely familiar. So like, I've enjoyed watching Shokugeki. Like this season, I definitely feel like it's been a bit off, and it hurts, right? Because like I love Erina. Erina's my best girl, so like and I love trains. So you'd think this arc would be right up my alley, like in terms of fan service, just purely on those 2 aspects. But even so, like I think you guys hit it, like Moz especially hit it on the head, that the ideals part of it just seems way overdone. And even though like the cooking is fun and like the dishes are innovative, like I kind of miss the Moon Festival arc and like the classic autumn elections arc that we had, instead of like this whole like, oh, what food is good and isn't good. And also, if like Erina's dad, who's voiced by Kirei Kotomine, doesn't make a mapo tofu dish, I'm going to be really pissed off. And there's like the few people who listen to our podcast who have also played through the Heaven's Feel VN will know what I'm talking about, but like there needs to be mapo tofu.
I hate to be that guy, but I don't think that's the same VA.
It's not the same VA as Kirei?
No, it's the guy who plays Aizen in Bleach.
What? He sounds exactly like Kirei.
So,
I'm shocked.
I looked it up. That's the only reason I know. Because I was like, I'm on my VA game. Because but
Damn.
I do hate to burst that bubble and reference, because we have Mapo Toku. I don't know the reference. What is it?
Mapo tofu.
Maple tofu.
Maple tofu, actually.
Maple syrup tofu. Sounds disgusting. Yes. Yeah, it's a... Yeah.
It sounds Canadian, which sounds disgusting.
Yeah.
Yeah, wow, you're right. I was completely wrong. Now I have egg on my face. But it's been, I mean, like I always watch it whenever I have like I'm eating or whatever, and I just like want something on in the background while I eat, and like it's fine for that. It's not anything like innovative or amazing. Souma is still Souma. Everyone's still everyone else.
I do really love Souma. I feel like he's almost like the perfect shonen protagonist, because he matches that like likability factor with the snarky personality, while also being like that over underdog concept of like he's the underdog most of the time, but he's really got like that secret power that helps put him over the top of people.
And he's also not like dumb reckless, right? Like he
Yeah.
only gets into like high risk things when like someone has greatly wronged a person he cares about.
Yeah.
So like he's not like a Toma, he's not like a I don't know,
But-
Shiro kind of character, right? Who just like head first like plunges into things. Like he thinks things through and then he like does these extreme measures when he feels like it's necessary to protect his nakama,
Yeah.
as one would say. But yeah, it's an interesting show. But to kind of shift gears away from just the sequels and the reboots, let's talk about the show that I don't know how the concept got off the cutting floor, but it's Uma Musume, Pretty Derby, which deals with girls, some of them who are part horse,
Well, all
and
the
some of
ones that
those who race. Yes,
The horse girls race.
the horse girls
Because
race.
they're
and-
horses. They
because
don't
they're
even
horse
like race
girls.
on a track. They race in like a horse track. It's not
Yes.
like a people track. It's a horse track, even though they look like people and have ears and tails.
But
They
they're
race in the
actually
horse track.
horses.
But no, they're only partly horses.
You would only know they're horses because they have the tail and the ears.
Also,
That's
they
it.
put on horseshoes on their sneakers, which doesn't make sense.
It's so dumb. I'm sorry, but I don't like the show. It just is like it's too weird. It's just too weird.
Jack, you also forgot the most important part of the show, which is if you are in the top 3, you also get to give an idol concert to
Oh.
everyone.
That's like the least weird part of it, to be honest.
We've gone too far. We gotta go. We
Like,
can't
the
How
idol
does
do
part,
it.
PA
it's like-
Works doing this?
It's fine. It's like whatever. They want idol horses, horse girls, fine.
Who's
But what
watching this?
well, no, if they want like idol racers, fine. But I can't get over the horse girl part.
Yeah, it's by PA Works or the studio called BAD Works. Cause I freaking hate everything that comes out
They
of
did
that studio.
Shirobako though.
Except Shirobako, but they also did Angel Beats, they also did Charlotte, they also did Kuromukuro, which was like a 5, that was fine, whatever. They also did whatchamacallit, Taratari, or whatever the fuck that show was. And Sakura Quest, which I know like Cav loves for some reason, but like it was hot garb. Yeah, I
Why
am
does
not a
this
fan.
exist? Why does this show exist?
I
We need to
believe
stop.
it's based off a gacha game. I want to say because I've seen
Oh.
Cygame as like one of the sponsors for that. Yeah.
No.
It's, oh
Like-
yes, it is. It's an upcoming mobile video game for iOS and Android that will debut in 2018. So it's probably gonna be a gacha game.
But like,
Uh,
how did they turn that into a story? Like, how did they? Like, I'm confused about how like the anime to game translation works.
Well, I
Or-
mean, like, they had to have, our seasonal sexual assault that gets left off anime. Because, like, totally feeling up 14-year-old, 15-year-old girls' thighs is really hilarious and really great. And
Yeah.
it's totally okay, within the confines of a horse girl universe.
Yeah, that weirded me out. That was another thing. I was like, they treat the girls like horses, except they're people. Like, they're people. They're not horses. They're people. But then they
But
get
do they
treated
identify
like
as horses? Maybe they
No.
want to be identified
They
as
identify
horses.
as girls, but they identify as horse girls, but they don't identify as horses.
I want to identify as killing myself. This is so... Why?
Sha, you should
Why?
watch the show. You would love it. It's
No, it's a
so
bad show.
amazing.
Sorry.
I'm
It's
gonna,
so
I'm gonna watch
terrible.
it now.
If you don't watch it for the memes, and if you like genuinely watch it and enjoy it, then just please.
I don't enjoy anime. I don't have fun here.
Yeah, who enjoys watching anime anymore?
It depends on the show.
I think this is a sort of show that people would watch for the character designs because I don't know, they're all like cutesy.
They're
sort
not
of
even
girls.
cute.
That's why
Like,
I'm
no,
not watching it
no,
because
if
they're
they
not
exist,
cute.
they're
I saw a
cute.
special week and
If
I'm
they
like,
exist, they are cute. That is how anime works. If there is a girl in anime, she is cute by default, no matter how she actually looks.
What about
No.
the Ito Junji ugly girl?
that doesn't exist.
This is like
That's
some
not a real
dumbass-
anime.
this
What are you
dumbass
talking about,
shit.
Jack?
I hate this
No,
shit.
it's Shaw, I mean, like, I will say I am a sucker for bob cuts, and Special Week, the main character, has a bob cut, and it is the most trash fucking bob cut I have seen. It's not even
That's a
redeemable
slight.
in that way.
I mean,
That's a
I wouldn't
slight.
say these character designs are like ugly or anything.
I would.
They're really bad, actually.
I don't know what my problem is with them, but I just don't like them.
The question is, if these aren't ugly, what is?
Like, just saying something, like, El Condor Pasa's, like, their design is terrible. Gold Ship literally looks like a human. She looks like, what's her face? The woman who looks like a horse, the actress Hollywood.
Yo, you're going too far. El Condo Pasa looks lit.
But they're like moified ugly, you know? It's like they made ugly designs and then made them super moa.
Yes. The names are also like, man,
That's
Meijiro McQueen, Silent Suzuka.
Well, it's because those are real horse names, which I think is awesome.
Really?
Because they're people. They're not horses, but then it treats them like horses up down to the names.
Special Week seems like it'd be a name for a whore, not a horse.
You want to have a special week, baby?
Special bi-weekly, tone into the Steins Gate Zero podcast.
Hey.
They're all horse names. Like if you think it's kind of like a weird reference, or if you like it's something weird in the show, it's probably a horse reference.
Oh my gosh, why does this
like that one quote? Whatever, it's like the one horse first, the rest nowhere. That is also a famous horse racing quote.
Oh, I thought that was just like a ripoff of the Ballad of Ricky Bobby, Talladega Nights. If you ain't first, you're the last, Ricky Bobby. No, but it's not good. Also, like, it looks terrible. There's so much 3D CG going on. Like, also it makes no sense. Like, okay, first of all, like, let's buy into the premise, right? That like there are these horse girls who are idols, and then they race, right? Like, let's say we buy that. How in the hell, like, how is it only high school girls who race? Do they no longer race when they go to college? Where do all the college
They get put down to the glue factory. I can't even say that with a straight face.
Ooh, this just got really dark. Actually, I think I would give this a 10 if they dove into that. Like, Special Week is like, so whatever happens to the senpai who graduate? They, like, don't race in these, like, Triple Crown races anymore, and it's only high school girls, and they're like, Special Week, you know too much. You know too much.
Off to the glue factory you go.
It's a bit of a sticky situation. Oh my gosh, it's so bad. It's worse than my puns, is what I'll say. But yeah, I mean, if you value your sanity, unless you have a really weird fetish that includes horse high school girl idols who race with horseshoes on their sneakers, it's probably not the show for you. Also, maybe you just or the memes. Or the memes. Can't discount the memes. Or the sexual assault. There are some people who like citrus, right? So like, there's a decent niche among the anime watching community that like sexual assault in anime.
I mean, it's only there a little bit.
This is true.
So if you go in expecting sexual assault, you'll be like happy for one scene, but then also
we'll be let down by the lack of sexual assault.
You'll be let down. There's like 3 scenes where like the dude feels up like high school girl thighs, which is weird.
Oh. I only watched the first 2 episodes, and there was only like 1 or 2 scenes like that.
Oh
so.
No, I'm on episode 5. I am up to date on this. I don't want to let like.
You don't let any time go by. You gotta watch all the horse girls.
Yes, I do. I need to. Unfortunately, so.
I need it.
You know what I do need though? I always need more Sword Art Online. Yes, I am the only person in the world who actually still probably likes Sword Art Online. Probably not, because like they keep making this shit. So this season we have. What is with this season of reboots and like off like spin-offs and alternate takes? Whatever. We have Sword Art Online, Gale Online Alternative, or Sword Art Online Alternative Gale Online. Either way, it deals with none of the original cast of Sword Art Online. In fact, it's not even done by A1 Pictures as all the other Sword Art Online properties have been. But it's been interesting so far, and I'm actually pleasantly surprised with how it's going. Maz, Jack, either of you have any thoughts on the season so far?
Yeah, I like it. Oh, sorry. You can go.
Okay. I think it's interesting. I respect Reki Kawahara. You can shit on Sword Art Online all you want. It seems he's aware that it also sucks, because I believe he's actually rewritten the original Ironclad arc to some extent in the progressive novels, though I don't know too much about that, so don't quote me on that. But also, people say that his writing has gotten a lot better as the series has progressed. Like, people say that Alicization is actually really good.
I've read some of it, and I liked it.
Oh,
so we'll
there
confirm.
you go. And And so I think it's cool that he just kind of gave Sword Art Online to someone else and just said, like, here, just, like, do something to expand the lore of the world or whatever. And so he gave it to a much more talented author, this one being the author of Kino's Journey. And it seems the anime kind of took that route as well. They gave it to a much more competent studio in 3 Hertz, which is one of my favorite studios right now. They're really good. And it kind of shows that, it is a little better. I think the animation is, like, decent. The main character is pretty expressive, and her design is, like, all right. And so far, like, they definitely care a lot more about, like, the actual game mechanics. Because I feel like the original Gun Gale Online, along with Aincrad, it was just, like, kind of throwing shit at the wall. Just like, oh, this might make sense in a video game. But no, this one's actually a lot more thorough, and it's like, there's a lot more strategy to it. It's a lot more about the game this time, because, this time you don't really have much of a character drama with this death game or anything. It's not even a death game this time around. It's just playing in a virtual MMO, and it's kind of cool,
Mm-hmm. No, I feel you. I'm definitely with you on that. I have some more, like, deep, thorough thoughts on SAO we can get to, but first, Jack, did you have some thoughts on this?
Yeah, I liked it a lot. It made me want to play, like, a first-person shooter MMO, so I downloaded Fortnite. But then
Oh boy.
Okay, so my computer is, like, from 2012, and it's a Mac, so it didn't really go that well. Like, I was, like, super lagging, and then, like, I got killed pretty soon, and I was like, okay, yeah, that didn't really work out, so I uninstalled it. And I was like, well, maybe another time I'll find it.
Do you get the, like, really cute hat that she has? Her hat is, like, on point.
It's super adorable.
It's a cute hat. But yeah, so it made me want to go out and play, or stay in and play a similar game.
No, I totally understand that.
It's pretty good, It's like, it's fun.
Yeah. For me, so I have read a ton of Sword Art Online, probably too much for any one human being. And I have read through Sword Art Online Progressive, that Moz mentioned before, and I will say that Sword Art Online Progressive is actually so much better than the original Aincrad arc, especially the manga, which follows Asuna's arc, and it goes, like, day by day and level by level without any skips, and, like, there definitely is more of an emphasis on her perspective and also everything from the game's point of view. And so that's been really interesting. And Reki Kawahara has come out and been like, yo, like, my writing's terrible. Please, I apologize for all my writing. It's been really bad. I'm trying to be better. So he comes off as a good guy. And, like, the original SAO was just a web novel he wrote on,
Can
like,
you
his
imagine,
personal
like,
blog.
Like, imagine, like, writing a fanfic, it blowing up and becoming this huge franchise, and then everyone judging you for it, and you're like, guys, I swear, this is not me. Like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry
like
for the
50
fanfic.
Shades of Grey?
I actually have a friend who wrote a fanfiction for something, and then she got, like, published.
Wow.
But
Oh, wow.
like, changing the names, yeah. It's mostly erotica, though. Like, it was mostly a porn book. But...
So, you're friends with the author of 50 Shades of Grey?
No, it wasn't 50 Shades of Grey.
Sad.
But yeah, it was basically a lesbian porn book, so...
Yes. Yeah. Well, I mean, there's no lesbian porn in Sword Online that I know of, maybe?
Yet. That's where we're headed.
Maybe.
We do
yeah,
have...
but we do
it's
have
not
two
a-
people.
It's not lesbian, but there is chapter 16.5.
Yo, I've read that.
We don't talk about
I've read
chapter
that.
64.
That's dank. That's so dank.
Oh, man.
2 years worth of dank.
Oh, my God.
Is that the one from the first core?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
Is it like an actual scene?
No,
Yeah,
well,
yeah, they have sex in
He
it.
wrote
In
it,
the
like,
novel.
on his blog.
See,
It's,
like, okay, you can, like, diss that, but I would love it if, like, the actual authors from shit I like to write, like, porn spin-offs of their stuff. Like,
Yeah,
I would
that's
be
pretty
all
good.
in on that. I would be all in on that, so I respect that.
Like Hunter x Hunter?
No, not that. Anything but that. No, that's too far.
As long as it's good porn. If
You-
it's bad porn, just
No,
don't
even then, do not. Especially when Togashi came out and said that he kind of wanted to make Hisoka more extreme. So we're not going down this route. Hard pass. But any other show, you can have, like, sex spin-offs for it. Thank you. Not
Yeah,
any other
I
show.
want
Some
that
of them.
for Made in Abyss.
Oh,
No, no, we're not. We're doing within reason. Actually, anyone can do it if they want, and then I can ignore it. That's all that matters. Is
Yes.
as long as I can ignore it.
Yes. But going back to SAO alternative GGO, it's been actually interesting diving into the mindset of the main character Karen, or Len as her gamer tag is, and like how it talks about how she's had a height complex her entire life, being so tall, so much taller than everyone else, and like how in this game she just wants to be like a cute tiny girl, and like she finally gets to be that in this world of Gale Online. And yeah, the animation isn't amazing, but it also hasn't been too animation focused. There are some like interesting plot lines that are developing as they go through this initial tournament, and I'm excited to see like how it all goes down, especially with Pito, because she seems sus, but she's also Yoko Hikasa. So like, when has Yoko Hikasa ever disappointed us?
Let me
But
think.
yeah. What's up?
Never. I don't think she's
Yeah.
ever disappointed us.
Ooh.
Well,
Neo actually turns bad in K-On! Season 2. No
Well, I
spoilers.
don't like her photo on Mal, so that's
Oh.
the one thing that I'm disappointed in. I don't know. I feel like it's a weird photo.
Yes, but it's I don't know, it's fun. I enjoy SAO. It's more SAO. It's the OPED aren't especially like memorable in my mind. Oh, but what is hilarious though is because it's still, so Aniplex is still one of the production committee members. So Aniplex, A1 Pictures, Sony, that whole trio. Aniplex.
Shit.
I know. And they have done so much product placement with like singers from Aniplex, and like at one point Len just like sits down and she's like, music is so good for me, as she puts on a pair of Sony headphones.
Oh my god.
Oh, just wait till we get to Wotakoi.
And that's like in game,
Ooh.
right? So they're in game Sony headphones, which
Yeah,
means,
they're in
which means that Gale Online is probably paying Sony for that.
maybe, or because Sony's on the production committee, so via Aniplex, so they might just be like, yo, put that in there.
No, I mean like in universe.
Oh, in universe. Interesting.
Like in universe.
So Sony
there
exists.
Are Sony brand headphones in
the
Gale
game.
Online in the game.
Yes. Wow. We've cracked the code. What a time to be alive. But yeah, it's I mean, if you liked SAO or enjoyed aspects of it, I would definitely recommend watching it. And yes, Alicization is a lot of fun, and I'm looking forward to when that comes out, because I believe that is the next SAO property to receive an adaptation.
Yep.
So, moving right along.
Okay, hang on. I gotta tell you this. I gotta tell you something. All right, guys. You know about Macross Triangle, right? You probably
Yes.
heard of Macross Triangle. You saw Yuru Camp Triangle, didn't you? You probably saw Yuru Camp Triangle. But now, this season, the Triangle anime has finally been completed with Tachibanakan Triangle!
Oh my god.
Triangle.
And it's shit.
We finally
Yeah,
did
fuck
it,
you,
guys.
Maz. I watched 1.5 episodes of this shit.
Sha, how have you only seen 1.5 episodes? It's literally like 2 minutes long.
Because it sucks
putting
that
on-
bad.
I was putting it on right before we were going to record this pod because everyone was running late. So I was like, what am I going to do? I'll watch some Tachibana Triangle and see what this shit is.
Triangle. It's like to love
Yeah, look.
Lovru.
You know how many things I can barely pronounce. I'm not going to fuck up English words like triangle. We're not doing this. It's like, it was a triangle and it was a bad triangle.
It was the triangle of times. It was the triangle of times.
Best anime of the season.
It's the most triangle anime of the season for sure.
Yeah, like, I want to die. That's triangle. I want to die triangle.
That's actually the theme of this season. You either want to die or it's like a spin-off.
You either
alternative
die in the
take.
game or you die in the season.
Yes, exactly. Thank you. If anyone's actually interested, it's like the concept is that it's your typical harem situation anime, except the main character is a girl, and all the people interested in her are girls. They're all naked at various points.
Like, she lives in a dorm where everyone there wants to have sex with her.
Repeatedly.
But she's
Except-
not as into it. She's like, this is weird, or like, oh, she's like harem pro tag dense about it. You know, if she was like took advantage of it, I could at least respect that.
Respect the hustle.
I like
yeah.
the one
Yeah.
girl who's like sitting on the stairs and she's like, "Oh, I forgot to wear panties." It's like, wow, can you forget to breathe for a second? Thanks. I like Casey smells like dumbass shit.
Holy shit, Sean.
But I understand like the harem antics, and they're pretty fun at times because you get like misunderstandings and like falling into crotches and like all sorts of wacky antics. But like some stuff is just like, come on, like at least have them pretend to be human, and then have them fall into crotches and boobs and like all sorts of wacky antics.
Shaw, as someone who, as a middle schooler, once read the
It's a middle school.
Turabu, as it was publishing, do not trust any manga anime property that has like trying to take a pun off of like English words in Japanese. Like, just don't. It's never a good time. Either triangle or turabu. Like, it's not okay. Don't watch this show no matter what Ma says, unless you're like really into like Yuri stuff. So like Bacon would like it. Like,
Even if you're into Yuri stuff, there's better shit to watch.
That's what it always comes down to, is like you don't have to be that desperate for Yuri because there's better out there.
there's
like,
even
you
some
don't
Yuri
have
on
to-
Ice.
Yeah, you can find better out there.
This
Like
is
it's
true.
not good enough for you. Like you got to do like the talk when like your friend is dating someone who's bad for them, and they're like, "This is what I deserve." No, you deserve better, Yuri. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise.
Yes. Sha, is there a show this season that you feel particularly like I don't know, like with the relationship stuff that you just brought up, like you deserve better? Like, is there a show that is like screams Shaw romance anime this year?
I don't know, but we do have not Tada-kun, we have Wotaku, my favorite. It's Love is Tough for an Otaku, and this is the best show of all time. Of all time.
Of all time. Maybe ever.
Ever. Yeah, so it's pretty great. It's pretty much follows these two couples who are like just working and trying to be normal people, but they're also huge weebs, and they have like different hobbies. Like one is like really into gaming, one is into making yaoi dojins, the other's into cosplay, and then the other is more like a normie weeb, but like and tries to hide it, but like he doesn't do as good of a job.
He also likes Misato the most, I want to say. Like, that was his thing. Or no, Unit
No,
01
yeah.
in Evangelion.
No, that's the other one. This one liked the girl in the rebuild.
Oh,
who I
Mari
forget.
Makishi. Yeah, what the heck?
That normie level. Yeah.
he
what a
likes,
normie.
He likes some
Normie.
Yuri slice of life stuff. So like
Yeah.
think Yuri, the person who just that's their favorite anime. That's the type of weeb he is.
Yeah. But no matter what taste they have, it's pretty fun because, you know, we get so many seasons, we get these romance animes, and they're always in high school or they're, you know, even middle school, and it's always about like how does this couple either almost get together or get together, and then the show ends. But this is one that we get to actually see what it's like to have a relationship develop beyond just getting together. It's in a workplace setting, and it's about weebs, but it's not weebs in a really cringy way, because I know some people were comparing this to Kiss Him Not Me, which I enjoy, but I think a lot of people found it really cringy and a bit over the top. And this one is kind of like otaku weeb jokes that aren't really cringy.
I feel you on that. It's I mean, like, as someone who loves making a good Evangelion reference, right? Like, this has been a gold mine of those. Like when they did the what's it called? An angel appears wherever with the tippity that bomb.
Yeah, they played the actual song and they have him doing the Gendo pose.
Yeah, the Gendo pose was great, and then
Yeah.
like when they started talking about like Rei versus Asuka, like I was like, man, I've been there before. But it's fun and like it's so sweet, and like I really like the romance is so much fun. Like when they go to the bar afterwards and they just complain about their love lives, and I mean, like, is it a spoiler? Whatever. Like when
It's
the
not
main guy, like in the first episode, asks her out.
Yeah, that's
like,
when you knew it
this
was
is
special.
So good. This is so good.
And it's cool because the way that they conduct themselves is very, like, authentic feeling. Like, they don't feel like those, like, just because they're weebs, they don't feel like those awkward high schoolers who don't know how to, like, get a sentence out. You know, they feel like genuine adults who are just like, you know what? We should try dating. Let's give it a shot. You know?
Yeah,
So
I
this
also
is-
relate
go
to
ahead.
like Narumi, the main girl, like on a
Yep.
personal level,
Mhm.
because she's like constantly trying to hide her otaku power level.
Yeah, me too.
But also like when she goes on the subway, she's
Mhm.
always like, Kato Megumi, such a cutie from Saekano. And I'm like, that is me on so many levels.
Yeah. I mean, it's probably my anime of the season, not counting sequels, maybe even counting sequels, but
Ooh.
I actually like read the manga after the first episode because I loved it so much, and it's pretty consistent from here on out. So I can like honestly say if you like the first episode or the first 3 episodes, as long as they don't really butcher the production values that much, which have been like kind of shaky at times, then you're probably going to enjoy it. Because it's a consistent good time.
I read the manga before it started airing,
Mm-hmm.
and the manga was more kind of comedy focused, I found.
Yeah.
Whereas the anime, the original stuff it's done, has kind of been putting more of a little bit of a story and development in place, which I really like. So you can, I think if you like it a lot, you should read it too, because then you should watch it, because they both have great things to offer.
Nice. That's a ringing endorsement if I've ever heard one. Lux, how about you? What do you think?
Wotakoi is nice. Usually I don't like this genre of like kind of normal people in a normal setting with a normal story, and then it's a romance because what the fuck else is it going to be?
Could be K-On!
I'm not going to comment on that. But this I actually like because the main 4, they have a lot of chemistry to them. They have a lot of personality to them. What I like most of all, at least so far, is that they haven't made this like a love shape sort of thing. It's just you've got 2 relationships running parallel to each other, and everyone else is like supportive of their own relationships and each other's relationships. I think that's really great. That's what I like. I don't want to fucking see them all have misunderstandings or like there was one episode where the main character said that the other guy of the show is more of her type, and then he heard that, and then it's just like they kind of treated it just as a joke, just like shut the fuck up, idiot.
Right, like the guy's girlfriend is like, oh, like don't get such a big ego now that she said you're her type.
Yeah, that's great. So yeah, I'm a lot more into this than I would normally be with other shows of this caliber, like we're going to get into in a bit.
Yes, but before that, I also want to give a shout out to the voice actors for the main guy and the main girl, Hirotaka and Narumi, because this is like some of their first roles. Like the what's his face, the Hirotaka voice actor. He's been in like 2 things before this.
Oh wow!
The Side M Idolmaster thing and something I'm not gonna even try to pronounce. And then
I should give it a shot. That would be fun.
Yes, Reikenzan Hoshi Kuzu Tachi no Utage. But I mean, he sounds really hot, and like he sounds great.
Ooh,
I'm
what
okay
else?
with that. And then Narumi has been in like a few things here and there, but mostly in like supporting roles. And this is like one of her first things as like a main. So it's been really fun, and she's been doing a really good job of it. And like sounding very realistic. I don't know, it's fun. And then of course like the other couple has like very famous voice actors in Sawashiro and Sugita. Like,
can you imagine like a hotter couple just based on voice actors alone? Like, I think everyone, it's like half of it is like just nutting over their voice actors and hearing them banter. Like,
yes,
like it doesn't even matter. Like, this could be a drama CD, and you could just have them like bantering at each other, and it'd be like, yeah, like what a great anime, you know, such great quality. Oh wait, it's just Sawashiro and Sugita like yelling at each other.
Yes, they have such great chemistry, and like they're both veterans of the anime industry, right? So like they can do so much and bring so much out of their characters, and like it's so much fun. I really like it a lot.
I also do appreciate it sounding like the voice acting. You know, we haven't talked about this on our pod, but like, you know, thinking back to something like Hibike Euphonium, where a lot of the voice acting sounds very natural. That's the same kind of vibe I'm getting from this.
Mm-hmm.
Like even something like in episode 3, they had the main girl. They're at a like comic. Like, essentially a huge convention, and she sees Hana-chan, and then she starts screeching. And, like, it's like, you know, like it or not, that's a very authentic sounding screech. That doesn't sound fabricated.
This is true. It sounds exactly like Shaw's screech whenever we go to cons.
I've never screeched at a con once. Can you imagine? That'd be awful. Holy shit. But no, it's like, I really like it. This is the romance I've always wanted, where they have, like, they focus on the actual couple, like, developing. And it also has like a nice theme of kind of like accepting yourself and your hobbies and finding people who accept your hobbies. Because it is kind of like, you know, when you get into the workplace, you can't really be the weird anime kid. It's kind of like, you don't really want to share that as much. So when you find people who actually share your hobbies, you make a podcast with them and come out with episodes every couple weeks.
Well, your coworkers don't watch anime? Like,
What?
I don't know if they
mine
do, and I don't want to find out.
A bunch of
was-
mine do. I have this one coworker who
Uh-huh.
talk about My Hero Academia, and he tries to get me to watch Dragon Ball. I introduced him to Captain Tsubasa too.
Ooh.
Well, he'd already seen the original, but I told him about the remake. So
Right. No, yeah, I mean, like, when Narumi is, like, trying to she's like, how do I gauge his power level?
Yeah.
I was like, it hit so real, because that was me, like, the other day, when someone was like, oh, like, Tay, have you seen, Your Name? It's really good. I was like, yeah, I was like, how do I gauge this person's power level? I was like, I really like the other movies by Shinkai, and they were like, I didn't know Shinkai had other movies. I was like, okay.
There it is.
There it is.
There it is.
But yeah, it's fun, it's authentic, it's real, and it's cute. And so it's a little different than the next anime we're going to be talking about, which is Tada-kun and the whole
Tada doesn't fall in love.
Yes, I was like, yes, Tada-kun wa koi wo shinai. Or Tada-kun doesn't fall in love, thank you, Maz. And I've actually really enjoyed this. I know this is some potentially contentious among certain people, but like Dogu Kobo is a studio that I've actually enjoyed. Like, they're usually hit or miss for me, but regardless, it's always cute, it's always fun, and like, it's nice having another original anime in such a season of reboots and whatnot. But it's been fun, it's been cute. It's nice because it has like elements of shows that I like. So like the main girl is not Saber, but like she very much looks like a Saber. You've got like a girl who sounds like a Sawashiro but isn't a Sawashiro, and then you have like the student rep who sounds like Hanakawa from Monogatari but isn't. And like Miyano Mamoru is in it, he does a great job. Nakamura is also the main guy, Tada. And it like has like nice rom-com fantastical moments to it, like a little bit like Princess Diaries, I guess, maybe a little bit. But it's just fun, it's cute. But I know Shaw has some feelings regarding this anime.
Stop. This is setting me up so poorly. I was trying to be wholesome. No,
You weren't.
I was going to try to be wholesome. I was gonna make an attempt to not be an asshole, but that's out the window.
We're like Shaw. People from Jersey can't not be assholes.
That's true. You can't help where you're from. But no, I started watching this, and I'm just like bored to tears by the show. I don't want to be Nakamura is my favorite voice actor. I love him, and he hasn't really been a main in something in a while. So I was so excited for this. And then I watched it, and it all went downhill. Like, I just find it really boring and unengaging. I'm not, like, I think the concept is kind of cute of, like, it is kind of like a Princess Diaries feel, but, like, what's that other movie? They do, like, the rom-coms where it's, like, oh, the obvious royalty person who's trying to be undercover and be a normal person and just wants to, like, yeah, that kind of stuff. That's always cute. But I just can't get behind, like, the lack of personality I hear in so many, like, whenever I hear it. I can't, like, Tada-kun's lines range from yes to yeah. And I cannot get behind this. And it was just not, I got as far as, like, episode 3. I really liked the, photography contest, like, that felt like some spark of life. But I even like Mamoru, whose like character is kind of supposed to be slightly more obnoxious. I just can't get behind it. So
it's peak Mamoru though, like
yeah, it's like him at his most Mamoru. But I don't know. I just realized that like it's not for me. I'm not gonna find it engaging, so I'm gonna cut it loose. But I hope that the rest of it is engaging because it does look really nice. I think the production values are pretty good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've been like. I think it is one of those things where like either you really like it or you don't. I think while we all seem to kind of like Wotaku, like some people might not like the super realistic aspect of it and might like there are some people, right, who like want more drama aspects, more like fantastical elements, and like if melodrama wasn't popular, it wouldn't be in so many stories. So I guess this might be fun, and the fact that it's an original and like no one can spoil it for you is also nice. But I don't know. How about you guys? Maz, Jack, either of you have like strong feelings towards this? Jack, I know you mentioned it a little in the pre-roll.
Yeah, I really liked the first episode. Like, the first episode, I was like, wow, I've been, like, wanting to see something like this my whole life. But then, like, the next episodes, I kind of, like, wasn't as into it. I was like, oh, this is okay. And then the most recent episode, I think episode 4, was just bad. I did not like it. It was like, I was like, if I drop this now, I won't have to finish the episode.
Yeah, when you I started getting those thoughts is when I was like, ooh, this isn't good.
I actually haven't seen episode 4, so maybe I'm wrong.
I did not like it. But yeah, I think the next 2 episodes or so will be my deciding factor if I'm going to just drop it or if I'm going to like it. So I hope they do some good stuff in the next 2 episodes. Because if they don't, it's getting dropped.
RIP. Tada-kun never falls in love, more like Tactician Jack never finishes Tada-kun.
Tada-kun doesn't get watched by us.
Oh, that was good, Maz. Well done, well done.
Yeah, I dropped this after like I don't know if I finished episode 1 or not. This is like the I mean, this shouldn't be much of a surprise because I didn't like Tsukigakure, and I dropped just because I dropped After the Rain last season, and this one for me falls in line with those where it's like I was talking about Wotaku, natural characters in a natural setting just doing whatever, it's a romance. I didn't find anything interesting about any of the characters or anything. But the best character is Nyanko Big.
Nyanko
Big!
Gotta flex on these nerds.
But other than that,
I can agree with that. I like the other characters, but like, the cat has no flaws.
See, I don't even like cats that much, and Nyanko Big is
do.
Pretty great. The episode where he narrates everything from his point of view was pretty hilarious. I don't know, I liked it. Maybe. I mean, I heard the deafening silence, and I was like, nope.
I've heard some people say that they like it because it's just like, oh, it's like your standard rom-com, and you can just count on it for a decent time. It's kind of standard. And I was like thinking about it, and I was like, the existence of something being standard does not excuse it from not being fun. So then I was like, nope, I'm gonna drop it. But I do have to give credit. I like the production values and aesthetic look of it. Like, I think it looks really nice, and it looks really cute. So I think it kind of beats Wotakai in that manner. But like,
Wotakoi.
Wotakai, yeah, Wotakoi. But it's not a Rainbow Samurai for me.
Yeah, I can't actually say anything bad about this. I don't think I had any like real complaints about it. It's just not my genre.
Mm-hmm. That's fair. I mean, everyone has those kinds of shows, right? Like, not everything is going to be a great show for everyone. Like, it's all subjective taste. So like, that's fine.
That's me with another show this season.
Ooh,
what else?
Spoilers. Well, don't actually tell us. We'll find out.
Don't actually tell us. But the next show we do want to talk about is a show that is near and dear to a lot of people's hearts, as it is an original anime, but coming off sort of like a spiritual successor to a well-known, famous, and influential anime of Ashita no Joe. And this season we have Megalo Box.
Woo!
Which, first of all, just the title sounds amazing. And then Hosoya is voicing the main character. Like, what else do you need to sell a show, right?
I don't know who that is.
Sold. I'm sold. He's the guy who's like Shikia. He plays the like fucking bird thing in Boku no Hero.
He also plays like Hyuga in Kuroko no Basket. He's
been in a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
I think it's like people know him. Like, people have seen him around. I think
Asahi
you know him
and Kaikou.
Well, Megalo
Arata and
Box.
Chihaya Furu. So
yeah.
like he's in a lot of sports anime actually. Now to think about it.
Yeah, so it's cool to see him be the main in a sports anime because he always plays like those supporting guys. Now his turn. Yeah, what were you gonna say?
Oh, I was just going to talk about it more because this is an original anime made to celebrate the 50th anniversary of Ashita no Joe. And at first I stayed away from this because I haven't seen Ashita no Joe or anything. I don't know anything about the franchise, really. Turns out you don't actually need to know anything about the franchise. You could just watch it as a standalone. And it deserves its own credit as a standalone because it's actually really, really good. It's just a really solid, sports anime where main character is really good at something, and he gets into this. He's like a really great boxer in this underground sort of lawless environment because he's like dirt poor. He's getting taken care of by his coach.
He's a stray dog.
Yeah, he's a stray dog.
He's a bungo stray dog.
Ooh.
Sorry, I as I kept watching it and they kept mentioning stray dogs, I was like, I have to make this joke.
Trash candy. So yeah, he's just a really great boxer in this area. And then there's this new thing, this new form of boxing called Megalo Box, which is it's basically the same thing, except everyone uses robotic arms and it just makes you punch better, I guess. It's kind of weird. I don't think the technology of the show is actually that interesting. It's just, oh, I punch harder now.
It's like future boxing.
It's like that Hugh Jackman movie. You know, the one with the Rock'em Sock'em robots?
Huh.
It's like Rock'em Sock'em robot, but with people.
It actually is a cool aesthetic. It does look kind of cool. So I'll give him that.
It's got cyberpunk is steampunk kind of.
I think it's cyber.
It's like
dystopian. I think it's cyber. Yeah, it's kind of got like this dystopian sci-fi feel to it, where like you still have. Yeah, it's been really cool. It's a cool aesthetic.
Oh yeah, and
it reminds me of Redline's aesthetic.
It is kind of like Redline. There was even a scene that I noticed that looked like Akira.
Yeah, with the when they were on the bridge. The lighting with the car and the motorcycle, right?
Yeah, with the lights. That was really cool. It definitely, it has like an old-ish feel. A lot of people also say Samurai Champloo.
Yes, that was
with
what
a soundtrack.
Yeah.
Great soundtrack, by the way.
The soundtrack's amazing.
The hip hop aspect to it, like after the OP, like once you watch like episode 2, like the little hip hop intro with like the boy looking over the buildings, like that's a really cool track.
Yeah, I think I have that on my Mal because it's so lit. Actually, it might be a different one, but I will put that on my Mal. Yeah.
I'm not like super into the show, but it's pretty good. You know, it's like it's good.
I think it's another anime.
I feel like we bullied Tactician Jack into a corner.
We boxed her into a corner.
Hey,
it's
gotta
pretty
keep
great.
Those hands up.
Everyone should check it out.
For me, I don't usually get to talk about this, but like boxing is something that's very near and dear to my heart.
I had no idea actually.
Neither did I.
Yeah, because like it never comes up. But like my late grandfather was super into boxing, and like one of my oldest memories is like as a kid, him like making me sit in front of the TV and like watching boxing with me when we were in Korea, and like it's all in English. He's like watching it off the Armed Force Network, but he's like, boxing, like punching along with all the fights and like making me watch the Thriller in Manila. So like and I took boxing for a couple years in undergrad as well. So like boxing has always been something that I really enjoyed, and just how beautiful all of it looks, just the fighting, the way the hands move, how technically sound the boxing is. So like there's no doubt that these people who created the anime, who are choreographing the fights, also have watched a ton of boxing fights. So that's been really cool to see, and just the love and the old time feel. So actually it's interesting because the first time I watched the episode, I actually thought like Crunchyroll was, throttling my
same
digital quality, because I was like, is this 480p? Am I actually on? Like, what's going on?
Fate, you're not allowed to say that website's name. You're banned from our anime.
Shit! Bex, you gotta censor it for me.
Hit a in it.
Hit him with the...
Yeah, that'll cover it up.
Watch it on...
But it does make me... It doesn't quite have, like, a cell animation feel to it, but it does have, like, the early 2000s, like... what is digital anime supposed to look like? No one has any idea kind of feel to it, with like the muted colors, very much like Samurai Champloo. I think that's a really great comparison. And the lighting definitely reminded me of Kira. He even did the Yamcha pose after like he trashed his bike in the first episode, which was really funny.
I think they said something about how like they did this in like a normal like high definition and then scaled it back down and like re-uploaded it to give it that like that feel of like that old anime feel. So I don't know I'm actually too uninformed to use the correct terms to use this. So but it was like they made the show like how it would normally look in high definition. Then they like underscaled it so it would be that kind of like 80s 90s anime look, so it would look like cell animation, and then rescaled it back up.
So
it's
cut.
Gotta sell those BDs somehow, right?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just a new form of filter.
It's like a filter, but it's like an artsy filter. It's the Samurai Champloo filter. Like they just hit him, like you upload it to Instagram and you just hit it with the Samurai Champloo.
When are we gonna get the baseball episode then?
Yo, we might.
That'd be actually hilarious. But yeah, it's been a lot of fun. The soundtrack's great. The fights are great. If you aren't watching this, like, you better. It's so much
seriously,
fun.
It's seriously like anime of the season contender.
Yeah,
It's definitely the dark horse for me. And well,
what's the weight?
Behind Tachibanakan Triangle, of course.
Exactly.
I got you, boss. I got you.
By the way, just my last comment. Then I'll stop interrupting Fate. But the staff on this is almost completely new.
Huh.
Oh, really?
Like, new director, new screenwriter, like, just everyone has done, like, so little that I wouldn't be surprised if there are, like, fake names attached to this, but even still, it's like, damn.
There are some people who go by pen names when they work on anime. I know there are a couple of people on Killed Animation who do that. But yeah, that's interesting. But that's pretty cool, because, like, it looks great, and one of the things I really like about this, and I actually was talking about this with Shaw before, I want to say, was that how, like, in certain Shonen Jump properties, like, they do the exposition really poorly, right? And they just, they're like in Shokugeki, like, when he meets Erina for the first time, she's like, I, Erina Nakiri, the granddaughter of so-and-so Nakiri, who is the founder of this Toutsuki school, and of the god tongue, am deciding your dish, right? And it's just like, okay, we get it. But there's like a lot of give and take. There's not a lot, like, it's revealed at a natural pace.
Yeah, it's like the story just kind of throws you in the world and expects you to pick it up, which I like and stuff with books, but it doesn't happen as much in anime, I've noticed.
Mm-hmm. The show not tell is rather rare, I want to say, in the medium, which is sad because it's such a visual medium, right?
Yeah.
But it's doing a really good job of it this season. I'm excited to see how it goes. And so, if you thought Steins Gate Zero was the only anime of the season that had a PS4 game source that Shaw has played through, well then, you are wrong, because there's also Persona 5, the animation. Now, Shaw, I guess you're also our resident expert on Persona 5?
Well, after, like, butchering the Tokyo Ghoul trolling, I've actually played Persona 5. I have to say that. I've actually done this. I finished it, like, a week before the anime came out. The game is really great. You should get it if you can. It's a really great game. Everyone has fun. Everyone loves it. But, so the anime's come out, and I feel like we're in that weird mix between you have the newcomers who've watched it, and I think they're pretty much enjoying it, and they know it's going, like, pretty fast, but they're enjoying what they can, and they're starting to pick up a lot of the mechanics of it. And then you have the worst people of all time, the source readers, who are now the source players, who just keep bitching and moaning about every small detail of it. And I think, as one of those awful people, a source player, I think there's, like, half and half, where it does feel like they're going a bit fast and taking it too much like a game. Like, they're making it feel a bit too much like the game and not adapting enough of it into an anime format. But I also don't think they're doing that bad of a job with that. I think it's still really enjoyable, and I think you can still enjoy it if you are if you haven't played the game. So I think they're doing pretty decent.
Oh, that's good to
I watched
hear.
the first couple of episodes of it, and it seemed fine, just kind of not my thing as much, and, so.
That's what I've heard from everyone who hasn't played the game and watched it, and then when I see people who have played the game, they're like, oh my god, this 1-inch small detail that no one cared about has been butchered. And I was like, you guys gotta stop. This isn't the game. Like, I've seen people complain about, like, a flashback scene that I thought they actually handled really well. And it's just like, you guys gotta stop. Like, this isn't gonna be the game. You gotta, like, let that go and just let them, and just enjoy, essentially, a 24-episode cutscene of this game that we've really all come to love, which is why we're watching it. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, it's I do want to kind of play the game first before watching it because I've heard so many good things about the game, but it's also like 60, 70 hours long to get through, right?
Oh no, it's 100 hours.
Oh shoot, my bad.
Oh yeah, you thought it was 70 hours? I thought it was 70 hours at 70 hours, and then I played for another 30 hours. So
what you gotta do is watch it first, that way you're not like disappointed by it, and then play the game and be like, wow, the game is so much better.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what you gotta do.
That's what you gotta do. That's what you get.
You can tell Jack's a veteran at this.
She is. She knows what's up.
I guess. I don't know.
You could just take the veteran title.
Okay.
And there's another show that is interesting that I actually feel like source readers have been enjoying, which is Hinamatsuri.
Oh, this is the one I was talking about earlier.
Yes,
Ooh,
which has been
not my
airing. So,
thing.
Jack, take us away. What do you think about Hinamatsuri?
There are no. I will admit that it has no like outright flaws necessarily, but it's just not funny. Like it's really slow, and there's like a couple funny points each episode, but the rest is like bad, or not bad, but boring and hard to watch.
Interesting. So I actually disagree to an extent. So I've actually really enjoyed watching through this. Like I didn't think I was going. So I had no idea what I was going into. All I remember is on the front page of Reddit, someone posting a clip from the first episode. First front page of our anime, sorry. And it was like best fight scene of the season, spoiler. And I was like, oh, I'm not gonna watch that. I'll just watch the episode. So I was expecting like a really heavy anime, and instead it's like a really like lighthearted comedy with like some, I guess, more touching serious moments here interspersed. And it's been, I don't know, I've enjoyed it, and like there are some interesting comedy moments, like having a middle schooler be a like blackmailed into being a bartender.
That's the best part. I will admit, I would happily watch a compilation of all of her scenes at the end of the season. Yes. I would happily do that, but I don't want to sit through all the rest of it.
So, Sha, this isn't a spoiler, but like, and so to the listeners as well, there's this girl who's in middle school who somehow gets blackmailed and roped into being a bartender, and it turns out she has like a magic touch when it comes to making amazing drinks. So
yeah, I did hear this premise before, but I was blanking on what this show was.
Right, and it's absolutely hilarious. Like at one point, her middle school teacher comes in and it's like, I should report this girl for like being an underage bartender, and like he starts having the drinks and he's like, oh my gosh, these drinks are too good. He's like, I'll let you be. No middle schooler could make drinks this good. It was pretty funny. And they actually also had like a interesting kind of sweet moment on what it might mean to be homeless in Japan, because one of the girls ends up joining like a homeless group. It was actually kind of touchy-feely, I guess, but it was nice and fun. But yeah, how about you, Moss? Did you have any thoughts?
So I was excited for this one coming into it, and I like it a lot so far. At first I thought it was kind of like a Lolly Mob Psycho, but it's actually very Maid Dragon. It's like Mob Psycho and Maid Dragon came together and had a baby named Hinamatsuri, because it's it has like the family aspect where it's like this guy raising a kid and he doesn't really know what he's doing, but without really realizing it, he's like kind of, you know, growing attached to doing that. And aside from that, I actually think this is one of the funnier shows of the season. Like that whole scene of what's her name, the girl getting blackmailed into being a bartender, that was hilarious. And then that whole episode, the thing is that Nita, that's the sort of quote unquote parent of Hina, who's the main character, his free time has basically been just completely wasted by, you know, raising Hina. And so he's kind of annoyed by that. He used to be like a real player because he's a Yakuza guy, and so he's done all this other shit. So he just kind of decides to say, fuck it, I'm just going to do what I want from now on. He goes on into all these bars, he goes to all these brothels, talks to all these women, and and so Hina eventually finds him at this bar that the other girl is working at, and then they kind of make up, and she says, Nita, I want to go to a girly bar with you. And then it just ends up being this, like, parade of people and children walking down the street saying, girly bar, while this mob of people outside just stand there like, what the fuck is going on? And I think that's the funniest scene of the whole season.
And one of the girls is like, oh, like, I've never seen a champagne tower before. He's like, let's goddamn make it happen. Just orders. Yeah. So that was very great. I know, like, related to that scene, like, right before it where, so he picks up this girl, Hina, who's, like, an alien, maybe, and, like, has all these powers, and, like, is, like, this crazy, powerful human being, or something, that he kind of treats as a daughter. But, like, he's going to, like, these hostess clubs and, like, talking to these people, and he's like, what's happening? Why aren't people asking me on dates anymore? They're like, oh, we've heard rumors that you settled down and you're reconnecting with your daughter, and, like, you're such a great guy. And he's like, no, how about you become a caregiver?
Yeah, and then the newest episode, spoilers, I guess, but he disowns Hina because she like completely wrecked the house, and then he meets up with all his friends and he tells them about it. He's like, yeah, I disowned her because she was costing me a bunch of money. And they all look at him like, you're raising a child, you fucking asshole. What is wrong with you?
It's pretty great. Yeah. Yeah, and, like, her friend, the other one, Anzu, who, like, shows up out of nowhere.
Anzu,
she's the homeless one.
Oh, wait, no, she's the homeless girl.
The homeless one. Like, when the moment where they're like, oh, like, can you sing us a song? And she just sings the worst song of all time. It was really good. Oh, man, it's
See,
fun.
I'm laughing now with you guys talking about it, but when I was watching it, I don't know, I was just sitting there with, like, a blank face. I'm like, is this supposed to be funny? You know, but now talking about it, it's funnier. So maybe I would enjoy it more with, like, people who did like it.
Yes, that's what the Our Anime podcast is here for. Making people enjoy anime. Unless it's My Hero Acca. What? But yeah, I'd say this is actually one of the more enjoyable anime of the season. And I would definitely wholeheartedly recommend it to people. And the next anime we were going to talk about is not as lighthearted, unless hearts are particularly light when you eat them. It's none other
I was wondering
than...
that you were going to go with that, but now we're there.
He's got the heart of a lion and a lifetime ban from the zoo. It's the show called Golden Kamuy. And it's based off a manga that I know a lot of people really like. It's very bloody. It's very real and... I don't know, real, like, gritty, I guess is the better word for it. But
pretty
it's been a lot
gar.
of fun. Yeah, it's been great, and it's had some really great bears as well. Like, that animation on the bears has been great. But it's been fun, but I don't know. What do you guys think about this show so far?
Okay. I like this to an extent. I think the story is pretty cool. I think the characters are fun. I like the main characters a lot. But this show is ugly! Like, goddamn, okay. You know, anime is like, it's a niche product. There's not a I mean, there is a big audience for it, but it's hard to, you know, get their money from it, right? It's difficult to turn a profit from, and there's a ton of competition. So I always see it as like, you would think that with the medium the way it is, that you would either make something that caters to as many people as possible, like Sword Art Online, and then you get at least some of their attention out of this huge group of people, or you make something like JoJo, which appeals to a few people, but gets all of their attention because it's like the best possible product for those people. This is something that I wouldn't expect a lot of people to watch because it's set in an older time frame. It's just a little different. So you think they make it really great, but no, this is like one of the worst looking anime of the whole season. And for the record, some people, like, when the first episode came out, everyone was laughing at the bear. But some people were saying like, oh, well, if you just ignore the bear, it's not that bad. No, everything looks bad in this anime, dude. Like, the character designs aren't bad, but it's like they're just not drawn with a lot of detail, and they go off model like all the time. The backgrounds look terrible, and just more CG besides the bear is bad. And it's just it just sucks because I'm watching like like I'm watching a cool story, and these characters are a lot of fun. They have really great chemistry, but then it's like it tries going for some visual comedy where someone will like try making a funny face, and it's just hideous. Like, ugh.
It's yeah, it's something. I definitely wouldn't put it up there as like one of the more beautifully animated anime I have seen. It's actually interesting. So the studio that is producing it, Geno Studio, has done like 4 things ever. And one of them still has yet to be announced. One of them was Kokoku, which aired last season, and then something called Gyaku Satsu Kikan, which was in conjunction with Manglobe. And Manglobe,
That's genocidal organ.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, actually went bankrupt. So
Yeah, they got gangstered.
They got gangstered, and yeah, so that's not exactly a ringing endorsement. And also, like, if you go on Anime News Network, if you go on Mal, you literally cannot find who like the animation checker and like the animation directors are, and that's always a little, maybe like not enough people are paying attention enough to put it on there. But if you don't have like a name like that, like a well-known name attached to the project, it's always a little disconcerting. But the storyline is interesting. It definitely is intriguing.
I think it's one of the more interesting concepts I've heard in a while. It's essentially kind of like the whole idea of having this treasure that with a map made on, like, tattooed on prisoners' bodies. And so, like, you have to get all of their skin, or like get all their skin together to get the map. Like, it's really interesting. I think the setting is cool. I love the characters. I think the concept's cool. And the production values don't really bother me as much as they would other people. Like, I think it still is, like, not the most aesthetically pleasing show, but I think I still enjoy watching it. So it's kind of tough, though. I feel like it's definitely one of those, read the manga, because the manga art is really good.
Oh, interesting. I haven't seen a single panel of the manga art.
Yeah, I've actually seen the manga panel for the bear, and it looks very good. It's like the opposite of the bear we got. It's like very detailed. It looks very competent. So I know the manga art is pretty good. So it's just kind of sad, though, because, like, I don't know, we get so many, like, I guess I feel just sound like an old man saying this, but we get so much random, like, trash every season. Like, why can't we just get, like, a budget for these guys to make a good production, like, a well-produced anime for something that's, like, a pretty popular manga? Like, this isn't an unknown show. Like, this should be able to get, like, production values and sell. So it makes me kind of sad. It's just, like, it's like a disappointment of the industry that they're not able to make this something like the star of the season.
Right. Yeah, it's such an interesting, great topic, and I don't know.
Japan, please.
This should have been done by the JoJo staff.
Oh, he kind of does look like a JoJo character.
He does. And the first episode, the main character is a so-called immortal man. He proclaims himself to be an immortal man, and he punches a brown bear in the fucking face.
It's pretty.
And it's like, in the anime, it just looks nothing. And I'm like, why isn't this the greatest scene? Like that, like if this was a JoJo scene, that would have been so fucking badass. Because it would have been so stylish. It would have been so impactful. It would have been so like, oh my god, what the hell?
Yeah, for reference, this is like, so this manga came out in like 2014, and it sold like 4.6 million copies as of March.
Oh,
you know, it sold like pretty well. Like, we should be getting a studio that knows how to do bears like this. I don't know. This is like
Bear down.
Bear down. This is just sad. This just makes me sad.
I don't have a lot to say about it. I just watched one episode, and I didn't really like it.
It was unbearable.
Oh my god.
No, I mean, it wasn't just the bear. It was just kind of like the characters. I didn't really like them. The story was kind of meh. And then it had a lot of like exposition monologue that I didn't care about. It was like not even from the main character. It was from some random side character.
Yeah.
And just monologuing about like what the story's going to be about. But it doesn't tell you that that's what the story's going to be about. It's just some random story.
I don't know. I kind of like
that. It's like,
oh,
this is going to be the story.
I'm weird though. I don't mind exposition like that. I like that kind of stuff because it's kind of like, it's telling some kind of spooky story, and you're like, oh, like, what are they doing with this? And then you're like, oh shit, this is what the premise is. I kind of like the surprise of that, but I can definitely see not enjoying that.
I think I would have liked that part better if it had like they had like animated what he was talking about. Instead, the animation going on in that scene was them talking at the story. It didn't like go into like what that might look like, really. So that would have been a better way to do that, I think.
With the same fire as like handshakers.
I don't think we need that fire. We need to set that on fire.
I did actually think the first episode was really weak, but then I saw the third episode today, and I'm like, no, this is cool. I like these two. Mm-hmm. It's good.
I just really wish like the main character would tell us what his name is. Like, I just wish he would like proclaim. Like,
I think he had his name, right?
Oh, was that a meme? Oh, I didn't realize.
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. I thought you were being genuine. I'm like, oh, his name's Sugimoto, though. He says that. And
he
like,
says,
wait.
I don't know if
he
heard
says
this,
he's
but
the
his name
immortal
is Sugimoto
so many times. But it's fun. I like it. It's interesting seeing like the economy of the season. There's not really much in the way of like cute girls doing cute things or slice of life. It's either like remake rom-com or like gritty, like very like, I don't know,
Gar.
Yeah, very Gar anime. So yes, including our next one, which I've been told is very Gar, if not
I think
very
it's just
gay.
There's actually gay.
In Legend of the Galactic Heroes. So, who is watching this anime, and how have you watched the previous iteration of this?
I am watching it. I started the original Legend of the Galactic Heroes, like, I think I watched the first episode of the new one, and then I watched the next couple episodes, the first couple episodes of the original. And then I kind of went like that a little bit, but then I watched like 5 episodes in a row of the original, and I'm significantly far enough ahead now.
So
yes.
How do you feel like this stacks up with the original then, the first few episodes of each?
I think I like the original better. I don't know, it's got a nice aesthetic to it. Like, the good one looks good the same, but I don't know, it feels different, you know? I don't know how to say that in better words. But I mean, it's pretty good.
So I actually heard that, because I didn't watch the old one except for a few clips I saw online. I'm watching the new one. I haven't seen the old one. But I actually heard from some of my friends who've seen the old one that the way they adapted the first episode is actually more faithful to the original novels, which is something that's interesting because when they came out with the character design and staff who would be working on this, there was some outrage, so to speak, over how, let us say Kuroko no Basket they looked like.
Same designer, actually. I looked it up.
So they have like the same designer as Kuroko no Basket and the same director, and people were unhappy with that, enraged because they thought it would look too Fujo, which was an interesting debate amongst many people. And like the character designs are the same as what they released, but I think the content is actually just as good as I imagine the original series to be. It's really interesting. Yeah. They have a lot of cool dynamics between both sides. Like, the characters have been interesting so far. And I think a lot of people who have actually seen the old series and liked it are really enjoying this, which I didn't expect, because everyone was like, I feel like kind of looking, not like actively trying to hate it, but they were really scared after they saw the character designs. And I can kind of understand, because I think some of the character designs are a bit off, but I don't think it's a deal breaker. And if you watched Legends of the Galactic Heroes for the character designs in the first place, I mean, I think you're kind of watching it for the wrong reasons. But I think it's been really solid so far, and I really like the opening a lot. Like,
my one complaint about the show is that it doesn't have a better dub. Because I watched the first 2 episodes, and I was like, oh, but I like my futuristic space sci-fi to be in English, because that feels more like real to me. Because, like, native English speaker, it's like, you want it to sound normal. But the dub actor for Reinhardt, it was so bad. I'm like, I'm sure he's a fine actor. I'm sure he's a fine voice actor, but his voice just didn't fit. Because, like, in the original OVAs, he's got, like, a really kind of, like, softish voice, you know, like, smooth, kind of regal sounding.
Yeah.
But it just way too nasally in the dub. And
so
I was like, man.
That's so, because the whole I guess dichotomy between them is, like, Reinhardt is, like, he really gives off that emperor kind of, like, classy feel, and then, like, Yang looks like a homeless guy. Like, that's, like, how I think of it, is, like, Reinhardt is, like, this emperor, and Yang is, like, this homeless dude. And, like, the aesthetic, like, really works for their characters, which is something that I do think they missed in the, character designs, is they both kind of have the same face going on. But I do, yeah, I mean, I think at least their Japanese voice actors are great. You got Miyano and Suzumura, who was in Kara no Kyokai, and he's Sogo in Gintama, who I love, and I think he fits the role really well. But yeah, it's been a good time. I think if people had reservations over not being able to enjoy it because they hadn't seen the original, you can watch it. And if you have seen the original and want just to see more Legends of the Galactic Heroes, I think it's worth giving a shot.
That's good.
Nice.
Good.
That's a good sell.
Yeah.
It's a very good sell. And now, as we begin to wrap up this segment, I figured it might be best to go down the line and see if there are any anime that people are really passionate about this season and that we haven't talked to that maybe the other ones of us aren't watching. So, Jack, is there anything in particular that you're watching that you really like? I know you mentioned Captain Tsubasa before.
Yeah, that's pretty good, but if I had to pick one anime to like shill, it would be Cardcaptor Sakura Clear Card, even though that's like a carryover.
Yeah,
it's just really good. It made me break my rule that I don't give 10s out while a show is airing. It's like, no, I have to give this show a 10 now. It's really good. But I mean, I wouldn't recommend it if you hadn't seen the original Cardcaptor Sakura.
Right, of course.
Or if you didn't like the original Cardcaptor Sakura, because it's kind of more of the same. Sounds kind of negative, but it's not anything really new.
It doesn't reinvent the wheel.
Yeah, it keeps going with the greatness of the original Cardcaptor Sakura. So if you don't think that greatness exists, then don't bother.
Yeah. If you're thinking about watching Cardcaptor Sakura, there's a watch this for CCS on the R Anime subreddit, written by I don't know who, but it's great, and you should read it, and you should watch Cardcaptor Sakura.
You should watch Cardcaptor Sakura.
That means Fate wrote it.
I thought I was going to say Cav wrote it.
Yeah, Cav is great though. I miss poor Cav in Russia,
so
far away.
So mean. He's starring in Golden Kamuy.
He is the immortal Cav.
He's the immortal.
Oh man. How about you, Sha? Anything to see?
So I'm watching this really trashy show. I don't think I would shill this, but I'm watching this one show. It's called good luck with me saying it. They don't have an English title. So it's called Kakuriyo no Yadomeshi, and it's essentially, you know this one, right? I was talking about this stupid, this is I think it's dumb, but it's not as dumb as it could be. And it's essentially this reverse harem where this girl gets transported to the spirit world and now she has to work in this inn. And it's just the dumbest shit. I think it's low-key Twilight meets Mahayome. But then I'm like, well, the show is so stupid. But then I watch it and they do a decent job with this main character and the setting, and these male characters are kind of sus, but it's kind of fun. If you want a dank show, might as well check it out. I don't think anyone's gonna watch it. I don't even know if I'll finish it, but it's pretty dank. But what the main selling point is that really pisses me off, but in I enjoy it, but it's kind of how does the show actually have decent qualities when it's supposed to be bad? It has a really amazing opening. I'm really loving the opening, so I'm gonna refer to the show as a Kiss Him Natsumi.
Hey, that was good.
That's my friend came up with that. I didn't think like that. So thanks to him for that.
Take the credit anyway.
Well, I'm gonna do it. So if you want a dumb show and you want to talk to me about you stupid Fox boys, then let me know. It's so stupid.
It's a more Japanese version of Ancient Magus Bride, but
it's more interesting. Yeah. Which is
it's a low bar.
It's the generic brand of something. It's the generic brand of Ancient Magus Bride because it's cheaper and better and the same thing, but not not as expensively packaged.
Ooh,
so
it's also 2-core, which is interesting.
That is the biggest slay I've heard in a long
I don't know
time.
what she was slaying. I don't know if she was slaying
this
show or Ancient Magus Bride.
I know, the slay on Ancient Magus Bride though.
Oh, okay, yeah. That's really a slay.
But it's pretty fucking dumb, so you should check it out.
For me, the first one real quick is Fumikiri Jikan, which is Crossing Time, which is literally a short anime about people who talk to each other at railroad crossings.
Oh
while
my
trains pass
god.
by.
This is your show. This is your
It's
show.
my show. It's great.
This is made for you.
It's like 3 minutes long a week. It's great. Watch it if you like trains. And then there's also something called Comic Girls, which
Oh, I heard good things.
yeah, I was like pleasantly surprised with how much I enjoyed it. Just because it didn't seem like it'd be anything but like a typical cute girls doing cute things show.
Yeah,
And
the
to be-
source is shit. Let me tell you. Because I saw it was coming up, and I'm like, oh, well, I'll just read the manga for that, so I won't have to watch the anime.
Uh-huh.
And then I read a few chapters, and I'm like, this is like the shittiest 4-koma MOA shit that I've ever read.
It's beyond words. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, but then
it's-
the anime was pretty good. I was like, oh, this is actually kind of decent.
yeah,
But I
it's
still don't really like it that much, but like, it's better than Source.
yeah, it's been fun. It's been like just really sweet and funny. There's like fan service that you're gonna get whenever you have like 4 whatever high school girls and it's not by Kyoto
High
Animation.
school in quotes.
High school in quotes. Yeah, they're all like published mangaka as well. So that's something. But yeah, it's fun. And like Ria Takahashi is like Bae, and she sounds great as the very tomboyish shonen mangaka of the girls. So that's been fun. They all look very cute. And yeah, it's just like an enjoyable CG cute girls doing cute things slice of life anime that I really like. And last but not least, Moz. Is there an
Okay.
anime that you'd like to finish us off with?
I have 2. Are we still talking about Oh, hang on. Mike Moustakas just hit a home run.
The moose.
Okay.
The moose
Yeah.
is loose.
Okay, are we still talking about Hisone to Maso-tan?
Oh, well, you can talk about it now if you would like.
Okay, Hisone to Maso-tan. If it weren't for Steins Gate Zero and Tachibanakan Triangle, this is my anime of the season. This anime is, it's really good. It's about a girl who, okay, I can't really talk about the synopsis, but it's just really fun. It's really expressive. Animation is super good. It's the director of Kisniver, which, I mean, say what you will about that anime. His directing is fantastic, all right? Yeah, it's about this girl who, like, kind of, she just has, like, a sort of office job, but it's for the Air Force, and she has to deliver something, and then into this hangar bay, this secret hangar bay, and turns out there's a dragon in there, and it's like a dragon that it's a dragon that can, like, turn into an airplane, like they've mechanized it to some extent.
10K shoujo, but with dragons.
It's so weird. Yeah, and the dragon has to swallow the rider, and then the rider controls it from
No, you mean
inside.
the
It's
dragon
Darling in the Franks has
roars.
really gotten crazy in these past couple episodes. Huh?
I was
Right?
thinking the same thing.
okay. This show is way more Trigger than Darling in the Franks, and it does have
That's
like
saying
actual
something, 'cause Trigger is, like,
staff.
Yeah, Darling and Franks is like 5 Evangelion references per second. But
This show, I mean, it looks like a Trigger anime, but it's actually Bones, and
oh,
yeah, it's just really fun. Because the characters are super great. The main character is someone who's like brutally honest whenever she opens her mouth. Like there's this guy who's
filter.
like she kind of rage quits her job because it's too stressful and shit. And so this one guy is talking to her, and she just like kind of randomly says like, "Yeah, I'm way too honest with people whenever I talk. Just like how I know right now that you have like a baby face and you're trying to smoke because you're trying to cover that up or something." And there's also this one other girl who's like a Team Skull sort of girl, and
She's hilarious because she's like, she tries to be mean, but it has the exact opposite effect on Hisone, or the main character.
Yeah,
And it's
exactly,
so funny.
exactly. And the main
Like,
character
she's
always
like-
thinks she's being nice.
She's like, here, you eat my shitty homemade croquettes or whatever. And then the main character's like, aw, you knew I couldn't handle the ones in the cafeteria. When really, the rival girl's just trying to be mean and like take her food. And it's really funny.
Yeah.
First episode made me cry because it was so good.
Oh, it's a fantastic episode. Yeah, this anime, it's really got everything going for it so far.
I gotta watch
It's-
this now.
Me
Yeah,
too.
it's-
I was on my radar, but then I had so many other things to watch, like Tachibana Triangle.
Because I made everyone watch Tachibanakan Triangle.
Did anyone watch that but me? I think I was the only
I
one
watched
who did.
it.
I keep up with it weekly.
Of course you do. I knew you would. I knew you would.
I watched it when it first came out and then dropped it, and then a couple days ago when I was on a bad shows binge, I watched another episode, but I couldn't get past one more. I couldn't get to like episode 3 or whatever. I was like, okay, nope, this is bad in the wrong ways right now.
If you want to add a bad short show to that list, add Ragnarok Angels. One day we're gonna do a podcast on that show.
That's like I haven't seen. Long. I want to see that before I see Infinity Wars because I need to see all the Marvel shows. Before
my gosh! I'm deleting you from this podcast.
You said so many worse things than me this episode. We'll have to do a cringe count.
So Hisamaso is a really good anime. It has one of the best OPs of the season, one of the best EDs of the season, best characters of the like everything is great about it so far. And everyone really needs to watch it because it's the Netflix anime of the season. So of course, no one's watching it for that reason. And also, my other anime, the last anime I think we're talking about, is another anime that no one is watching for some weird fucking reason. It's called Last Period. I think the Journey to the End of Despair. It's a long fucking title. But if you like Konosuba, if you like Magical Circle Guru Guru, and I know a lot of people do, you'll like this one because it's very much in a similar aspect. I call it Last Period, God's Blessing on this wonderful gacha because it takes place. It's a gacha mobile game adaptation. But it's also like a kind of a parody of it because there's one character, Chaco, who's like, she's aware that she's in a late night TV anime and is always commenting on that and always making fun of it. Like in episode 2, they go to a hot springs and she says, wow, episode 2 and we're on the hot springs episode, are we? That's a lot of fan service.
I hadn't heard of that. Like you said, Magic Circle Guru Guru. I liked that a lot, so maybe I'll have to try that one then.
I should probably, because I watched Magical Circle Guru when I was like 6 years old. I watched the original one, so maybe I should watch both the reboot and this as well then.
Yeah, the reboot was great. And this one, I mean, I don't think it's as strong as Konosuba or Guru Guru, but it is definitely really great. And episode 3 was a crossover with Higurashi.
Ooh.
And it literally had Higurashi characters, and it even some of the producers, like what's his name, Ryukunishi 07, he was actually in the anime. And yeah, it's really great. A lot of meta references, but it's also funny just on its own. There are these 3 characters who show up every episode and kind of ruin things. They're like the Team Rocket of this series. They're called the Wise Men, and they do the ED, which is an amazing ED. And they're hilarious. The animation's really good. The character designs are fucking amazing. Like, seriously, Chaco looks adorable as fuck. Every single girl in this anime looks fucking gorgeous. There's this one girl who controls the summons, and she keeps calling herself a call girl because she calls upon summons. And then Chaco's like, I don't think you know what a call girl actually means. And it's great.
Yes. I mean, I'm going to have to put it on the to-watch list now.
Yeah, everyone needs to watch this. Just for the record, it's listed with a 6.0 on Mal right now. I don't know why.
New Urahara. Ooh.
Exactly, it's the fucking Urahara of the season, except I actually know why people wouldn't like Urahara. This is like a lesser form of Konosuba. It's fantastic, dude. I don't know why people have a problem with it.
Yeah, well, so it goes. And so it goes for this podcast. I think that is it for us today. Sorry that we didn't get through such shows like High School DxD Hero. We didn't go more into Fully Coolly Alternative or Full Metal Panic Invisible Victory. We actually haven't seen those shows or the ones that came before it.
If we're not talking about it, just assume we're not watching it or that it sucks.
But we would definitely like to hear your thoughts about it. So if you have any, please comment in the Reddit thread or on the YouTube channel under this video. And thank you all for listening in again. Thank you, Tactician Jack, for coming on and being such a wonderful guest.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. And as always, if you want to keep up with the latest things that the Our Anime Podcast is doing, be sure to subscribe. Make sure to check out the sign-up list for the guests, because as Tactician Jack just showed, we have amazing guests on this podcast every episode. So if you want to join, if you want to have your thoughts be heard, feel free to send us an application. And thank you again to Bex for editing this. And also, don't forget to listen to the Steins Gate Zero bi-weekly podcast that we're trying to come up with a name with. Hopefully we'll have a name with. And that'll be coming out shortly after episode 4 and episode 6. Not sure when this episode is coming out. But until next time, stay tuned, and thank you, everyone.
Thanks.
Toot-toot-roo, motherfuckers.